welcome everybody to another Doncaster Motorcycles video. Here we've got a KTM 1290 Super Duke R. Basic service. Such a beautiful machine, as you, I'm sure you'll agree. Pretty straightforward stuff this. Oil and filter change. Look at that, that's definitely well overdue. I think this bike has got something like nearly 16,000 miles on. That oil is super hot. And it's as dark as dark can be. So yeah, it's definitely ready for a change. I don't know when it will last done, but it's here with me now and we are going to sort it. So we're going to so there's two oil drains on these, and they both have a little mesh filter. You can see on that one it's a little bit distorted. It's like someone's put it back in before and sort of just rammed it in, thrust it home without any care, so I've twisted it up a little bit. It's easily straightened. It's not kinked bad enough that I can't sort that out. And there's the back drain. I should have really done it with a bigger drain bowl, but I like my little green drain bowls. Don't need no fancy. A couple old jerry cans, cut top off, job was a good one. So yeah, there we go. See, I burnt my fingers. It burns. Well, there it goes. There's the second one out. Look, see how straight that mesh filter is in comparison to the other one. Well, let that drain off. Now we're taking the this is the oil filter cover. Two little 8mm bolts, 8mm headed bolts. Where's one off and then the other. These caps can stick on. So I walk away here, go to my toolbox. I use a little piece of inner tube, thick inner tube, and a pair of pliers. Save me mark in the aluminium. And pop. Comes off. It weren't too bad, this one. Sometimes they really are tight in there. The O-ring sort of dries up and holds them in, so you do need to put a bit of welly into them. Luckily that one popped up pretty easily. Let that oil drain out a bit, get the magnet on, pull the filter. Again, sometimes they're stuck in there, they don't come out so easy. Sometimes you need to use two magnets, sometimes you need to use a little scribe to hook it in and pull it out. But the oil was that hot. It must have made everything super free. I do rather change them when they're a bit cool so I don't burn my finger dabs, but such is the way in the height of summer. What are you going to do? And the next, what we got up next? You can see me here doing the tyre pressures. Like I say, basic services, there's not much to them. Oil and filter change, tyre pressures, chain adjust and lubrication, lubricate all the pivot points, like the lever. Oh, you can see me doing a dance there, must have some good tunes on. I like a boogie woogie. Oh, I do love a boogie woogie. So yeah, tyre pressure, where was I? Oh, right, so lubricate the pivot points, which is the levers, the side stand, so your clutch and brake lever, make sure everything's working smooth with no squeaks. Also on the service we check the tyre condition, make sure there's nothing in there that shouldn't be in there. Also the tread depth, tread wear, tyre wear, see if there's any degradation or anything like that. Yeah, it definitely, I must have some banging tunes on. Right, okay, so there we go. You can see the Bulldog BDX. Give it a shake. Like I say, all the pivot points. Don't necessarily need it, but it does stop squeaking. It makes everything work so much easier. And the Bulldog BDX spray is available at Doncaster Motorcycles. It's fantastic stuff. So grab your centre can when you drop in. Once you've used it once, you'll never go back to any other. Freeing lubricant. I don't know what the proper terminology is for it actually, but So the Bulldog BDX, I use that on just about everything, and then new filter going in there, a little cap, I reuse the O-ring, should put a new one on. If there's any signs of any deterioration or any issue, sometimes they do stretch, you can take them off and put them on a couple of times if you're careful, but if you're not careful you can definitely damage them. That one was in good shape, so that's gone straight back on. Same as the mesh filters. There you can buy a KTM Duo, a kit with 2 drain plugs and new mesh filters and all the O-rings in. You don't always need them. It saves you a couple of quid if you don't have to put them on. But if you are doing this yourself and you've never done it before, I would advise buying that little kit. It does make life so much easier when you've got new bits and bobs to put on. And it stops you being stuck waiting for the parts to arrive if you get them beforehand. We do plenty, so we do assess them. We've got a couple in the drawer if we need them. But yeah, generally speaking, we try and save you as a customer a couple of quid by not putting them in if it isn't absolutely necessary. Bad camera work there, blocking the camera. So yeah, so that's the one filter. I put one drain in and the other one in as well. Nice, and tighten them up. They don't need to be too tight. Correct torque setting is in your manual. If you're doing this yourself, I do advise buying one and making sure you follow the procedure. Obviously we do them in day out, so 3 clicks of the elbow or crack of the knuckles usually suffices. Alright, so the new filter in. Blub blub blub. Oh, we're doing that. Blub 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 blub. Right, that's the oil going in. So the filter's in, the some plugs are back in, so some fresh oil and some banging tunes. You've got to have some good tunes on while you're doing a service on your bike, haven't you? So when you're in your garage, you can bop away. Neil doesn't talk to me much sometimes when I'm busy, so I have to entertain myself while I'm doing the bike. So yeah, I can't remember exactly how much it owns, 3 point some litres, I think. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, you can. There's a little window on the side. Ideally, you need the bike upright on a paddock stand when you're doing this, topping the oil up, filling the oil up. Because as you'll see here, I do spill a little bit, like a doofus. I know how much needs to go in, and I try and put all that in while it's on its side stand. Rookie mistake. Anyway, so this is second jug. Too busy dancing, glub blub blub blub, dancing and singing while I'm putting the oil in. So it does a little bit comes out. It's if it had been on the paddock stand, I wouldn't have had that issue. But hey ho. The trouble with filming is I forget little things like that. To err is human, as they say. So yeah, if I can't get it right, don't blame yourself if you spill a little on the bench while you're doing yours. Yeah. So that'll be probably 3.5 litres has gone in it, and I'm going, yeah. There you see, bit of blue rag in my hand. I've been wiping a little bit up, a couple of drips on the bench, no biggie. And we are ready. The bike has started. We're running her up, circulating the oil, getting it going through the filter and around the motor so we can get a correct level. Must have cut a bit out there. The chain has been checked and lubricated. As you can see, the must have skipped a bit or not filmed a bit. Well, what have I missed there? Neil did assist me. Maybe I forgot to switch the camera back on because there's a bit camera shy, is Neil? As I'm sure anybody who watches our videos on social media. Oh no, the wife. The wife turns up. So this is it's gone 5 o'clock. We're going to the gym together, and she patiently waited for me to finish this bike. I think she was sat for an hour, bless her. She does put up with a lot, my wife. Waited patiently, tapping away at a phone in the office. I could hear a foot going as well. So yeah, once you're on with the job, you've got to finish it before you go, regardless of the time. The gym wasn't picking it up well the following day, but it seems silly to stop now when we're so close to the finish line. So we're running her up. You can check the level. But what we do need to do on this, so we check all the lights, make sure the lights are working, all the electrics are working, all part of the basic service. Did I mention that earlier? Don't think I did. It's a pretty standard stuff. It's what you do as a pre-ride check anyway. Well, it's what you should do as a pre-ride check anyway. Check all your lights and your tyre pressures and bits and bobs. I know we don't all do that. I definitely don't. I know I should. But that is the way. So yeah, so all the lights are checked, and now we are going to reset the service light. I had a little issue with this one. Sometimes the text unit we use can take a while to align its in with the ECU. I don't know if it's due to wiring issues on the bike or voltage on the bike or anything. So as you can see, I'm just having a boogie while I'm waiting for it to connect itself. It is a fantastic system, and it is necessary for just about any service on any of the new machines. Yeah, it's not as straightforward sometimes as just plugging it in and switching the light off. So you do have to sometimes bear with us if you're coming in for a diagnostic check. Sometimes it should only take a few minutes. Sometimes it takes a lot longer, and sometimes you'll hear the air blue because we can't connect, and it's creating us a bit of grief. Yeah, it's brought up a fault there, as you can see. I think it's the exhaust actuator that's actually at fault. Quite common on a lot of bikes, they stick. And there's nothing really can do short of replacing a lot of expensive components. It can stick and restrict it slightly, or the voltage flow might be just a little low on it, and then it causes an FI light to come up on our system telling us the fault. It's nothing super major, and usually most people will just persevere with having that actuator being a little bit of an issue. Or sometimes they've bypassed it, put a complete system on, or an NCAN, and they've not put an exhaust actuator bypass kit on. It's like a little diode, plug-in diode jobby. So the exhaust, the bike still thinks it's got an exhaust on that's got an actuator in, and it hasn't. But anyway, so yeah, backwards and forwards in with this one. I think I swore too much. It didn't take me too long, but yeah, you can see that orange flash at the top of the screen. That's telling me there's a problem with the bike, and it was the exhaust actuator on this one. So swiping up and down, left and right, we've got to find the menu for the service reset. On the earlier models, it was built into the clocks. On some of the new bikes, I did a Fireblade today, it's still built into the clocks. Oh no, that was a 17. A lot of the new stuff you do need a plug-in unit like this. I'm rambling, aren't I? I'm rambling. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, some bikes you can set them on the bike, reset them just by using the menu buttons on the bike. Some bikes are old school where you double all the two buttons in at once and it'll just reset it. Some bikes are even better. The old stuff from the mid-90s doesn't have a service reset light. You just have to remember to do it every X amounts of thousands of miles or 12 months. Oh, for the good old days. We do all yearn for the good old days, but now all the new stuff needs to, you look at them funny, you need to plug them in. So this tool does get used. Oh, hey! So obviously I've sorted it. I think that told you that it's now done. So I'm showing you here, going through the menu, the light's gone off. I don't know why I'm showing you this, because now the service reset light isn't on. I can't remember what I was showing. Maybe you don't need to see this bit, do you? I don't know, we'll leave it in. There we go, thumbs up, job's good in, sorted. All done and dusted, so the lights are reset. Stand the bike up, get the correct oil level. blub 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 blub. I think that's what I was doing before. Blub 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 blub. Anyway, so yeah, bit of oil in, get it up to the correct level. Now it's had time to settle and stuff. But yeah, you do need to run these bikes, let them tick over for a few minutes to let the oil level be correct. It needs to circulate around the engine, and then fill that little some oil reservoir up at the side. You get a false reading if you just start them up, rev them to the moon and then turn them off, and that's not going to do it. It's not going to suffice. Cleaning all the excess drips off and stuff. I'm a messy bugger at times. Yeah, generally, I don't know if you see me do it here, but yeah, I go around the bike and generally you wipe any excess off, any fingerprints or anything, as anybody should do. Don't want to leave a mess. And there we go. Double thumbs up means it is done. But yeah, you don't want to leave a mess. Sometimes I clean my finger dabs off and I'll end up leaving clean patches where it was a bit dirty back before. All sorted and ready for them. There you can see. So, another late finish for me. The poor old wife. Young wife. The poor young wife. Young wife. He's sitting in the office. Little Joey O sat there waiting for me while I'm finishing this off. And thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.